Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome on in. Welcome to episode 8 of the podcast. Our
Yeah.
eighth
Are we up to 8
podcast.
already?
Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
my god.
So today we are going to, I guess, discuss. Now when seasons come to an end, there's different paths people walk along that time, and we got some things to share about how you can keep yourself busy during that time if you're not going to race or whatever you're going to be doing during that time to keep yourself going as a streamer of marbles on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And what's some good things within the community? Kind of like getting to know different people in the community, especially if you've been out there cranking races and haven't been able to, chat with people as much as you may have wanted to. Whether it be in stream or in Discords or anything, maybe you're just kind of watching from afar. Because I remember whenever I grind or used to grind the viewer side, I would soak in a lot rather than participate. I would participate as well, but I would just soak so much in. And then whenever I wasn't grinding, it's kind of like I already knew what to talk about with people and what they were into, kind of. So yeah,
It was
great. The between seasons, great way to meet people.
I was gonna say it was always nice to see you, Spooo, and be able to chat with you in the off season. That was
Right.
that was actually, you're the one that taught me that during the off season is a really great time. Like, and everybody has a different philosophy. Like, some people are going to just simply like take a break and they're gonna go off and play a different game, or they're going to try something new, or they're going to work on their streams, or some people are just going to straight up like not stream for a couple of days and just kind of
disappear,
catch their breath.
Yeah.
I always loved it because it gave me a chance to, because we have, no matter what kind of stream you run, the pro racers are in your community. And to me, it was always great to be able to connect with them a bit. And to come back around what I said first, that was like, you're the one that actually taught me that, Spooo. It was like, oh, there's the person behind the name. How
Right.
is that? How is he doing?
It's important to always think about that there is a person behind the name. I think we mentioned that last podcast.
Yeah. So it was it's a great way to really connect during that time. The other thing is that for the pro racer streamers that are always like, they're constantly pumping out like tracks of a certain length and all that, and this is something that even I've gotten into. It's a time to be able to screw around. You can run the under 1 second tracks. You can run the tracks that are maybe 10 minutes long while you chat with everybody and all that. Like get in there and really experiment a bit, because it doesn't matter. The points don't matter at that stage.
Right. So you're not
can
dividing anybody by playing different tracks.
Yeah, and you can relax and be yourself, and the pro racers can do the same, and everybody can just kind of hang out and have a good time, which is always nice.
Yeah, the off season, I often see the category actually go through like this high time, like during high peak hours on Twitch. It's really big, like a lot of people are on, but then on the low times, a lot of people are like gone. So you see like a true almost, I don't know, like viewership shift during that time. And like you guys said, it's a great time to meet people because they're coming out during the regular times, just hanging out, as opposed to, right, just trying to get a certain amount of races done or move around and do their thing. It's like, it's like that the person's on vacation for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
You get to like just decompress and just chat.
Right. And it definitely gives the streamers a break too, and it gives you some it gives you some depth. It gives you some depth of understanding about the people that and I hear this from new streamers a lot all the time, new marble streamers, is that, oh wow, that person really is a nice guy or nice person, and they're wonderful, and it's like, well, yeah. And the thing is that we don't. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week, is that we have a tendency to forget when we're talking about the grinders, the pro marblers, however you want to put it, and we're saying things like, we know there's a person back there, we just wish they'd talk to me. Well, this is a great time for them to come talk to you, right, and get to know you a little bit better as a streamer too. A lot of bonds get formed in the off season. You know, it's definitely, it was never a time for me to take off. You know, I was always right. I just ran my, I didn't do anything special. I would just run my streams as normal because I knew I'd have those opportunities, which was really awesome.
Right.
Right.
And during a time like this, you could even use it to like grow your channel, because Twitch currently is seeing a 31% growth in viewership as of yesterday, a report that I saw from Stream Elements. And if you put that into scale, that's a lot of growth, guys, and it's a lot of chances for you as a streamer to really reach out and start growing if you want it. Because there's a lot of people online, there's people looking for communities, looking to get involved and be like, what do I do with this time? I didn't realize there's all this stuff online. There's a lot of people like that, and you can really grab on with the off season where you don't have to focus on points. You can actually just enjoy the racing and just chat and welcome people in.
To try to explore and come up with new content for your channel too, since there's so much in marbles and maybe you feel restricted during the season. Try to just explore everything. Track builder's free. You know, you could practice tilted. We're gonna probably be doing more tilted tournaments if you're interested in that. Just anything. Try to come up with a cool daily idea, something to keep you excited. I was talking to Pixel about it earlier, just something, an event to keep you excited through the week, kind of like how people look forward to Fridays, community days, whatever, all that stuff. Create that own event in your own stream and on your own channel so that you're excited for it and you get other people excited for it. But yeah, just brainstorming with other streamers in the community who you like, and you just reach out to people, say, hey, can we talk for a half an hour to an hour and just like brainstorm some streaming stuff? It helps so much. Coming up with just ideas for each other and helping each other, because that's the best way to help each other.
Yeah, often in the streaming industry, I find we don't communicate as much because we don't have time, right? We're always doing stuff. But when you do have time and you have that couple hours to chat and connect, you can really lay stuff out and even get some stuff off your chest that maybe have been frustrating you and that the other person can relate because they're also a streamer and they go through similar stuff. You don't get that a lot as a streamer. You don't get that connection because everybody's so busy, right? All our colleagues, everybody's, you know, if you're streaming, they're probably not, and like when you're not streaming, they probably are, and you just like have all these off times. And when you have that time to connect, you can really come up with some good stuff with like-minded folk. So I think that's so important that a lot of people miss out on.
Yeah, it's really it's something that I've figured out myself, are those bonds that you form with other streamers when you do form them. That's part of the reason why they end up so concrete. Like you'll see streamers that, you know, make friends with others, and there's a reason why they're so tight knit regardless of what goes on in either streamer's life or what success levels they hit or whatever. And that's because it's somebody that you can share those experiences with. It's somebody that you can, you know, knock ideas around with and all that. And, you know, it's important. It's important because you need to be able to, like you said, get things off your chest. You need to be able to talk with others. You need to be able to share that bond. And there's nobody in this world that's going to understand where you're coming from better than somebody else that is going through it or has gone through it themselves.
Right.
You know, that's why streamers connect with other streamers. That's why streamers teach other streamers, you know, is just for that very reason. And it's a very, very important thing. I think it's a very, very important thing for a streamer's mental health to have people like that in the community that they have truly bonded with.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, talking in any sort of, and it's so much better to do privately than publicly too, especially getting things off your chest, you know, because you might say something you regret in a social media form, and having, you know, close streamer friends that you can get things off your chest without the backlash of whatever. You never know, because in the heat of the moment you just never know what you're going to say. Maybe you're extremely ticked off, so you just like, it's just so much better to reach out when you're ticked off or when you're whatever feeling you're having. It's not bad to feel whatever you're feeling. Just be mindful of what your verbiage can do on the internet.
We'll do it in a contained environment, right?
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, exactly. When you're live on stream and you see somebody, it's still, I still have to remind myself from time to time, you know, like you'll see somebody jump into chat like you haven't seen in a while. Like my cousin has a tendency to stop by and all that, but you want to have a full conversation with them, and you will sometimes forget that, yeah, you're actually still streaming, and just how easy it is to say something while you're streaming that you'll regret later on. So you have to pull it back a few notches and then save it for when you can talk, like before or after on one of your days off or something like that. So yeah, it's just don't make the mistake. Remember, it's very easy to say something you'll regret in public on stream later on, you know, so.
And mostly like when you're like just freaking out about something, right? That emotional, mostly that's going to affect you or maybe your future. And it's like, you just want to share with your community, right? Because that's some thoughts, but sometimes you just got to restrict it a little bit.
Kind of have to view yourself as a leader sometimes, and leaders have to, you know, show people that they are stable enough a lot of the times to be that community leader for you.
Yeah, it's something I don't think we take seriously enough as streamers, that we forget that we are leaders of our communities. And you know, it's like it's a strange balance, and I think that's one of the things that makes streaming as a profession so very unique. Is we're hanging out with a bunch of friends, but we're still responsible to make all the decisions. We're still responsible for the energy of the stream. We're still responsible for what direction the stream goes in.
Right.
That's all on us. So like you're leading, but I think the best way to put it is you're leading, but you're not a boss.
Right.
You're just in charge of it. You know, you're just responsible for it, you know, and we lose sight of that so easily. Like when you see like streams that are like hangout streams, which there are a lot of streamers that will run it that way, it loses a certain dynamic, because again, they're not taking responsibility for which way it goes,
right?
You know, which way the stream is supposed to go, and I think the content hurts a little bit when that goes on. But for the streamers that do keep that in mind, and again, you're nobody's boss. You're not giving anybody orders or anything like that. You're just taking responsibility for your content.
Right.
And where that goes back to the conversation we had a while ago about it's your stream.
Right.
You know, it is okay to tell somebody, no, I'm not going to do that, and here's why, kind of thing.
Mold it the way you want.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny how a lot of these points circle back on each other.
Right.
You know, everything's so intertwined.
Yeah.
Pixel, do you want to talk about some of the new stuff coming this season, and what us streamers and racers as well can like look forward to teaching anybody?
Yeah,
because I know there's some new stuff coming.
I think, well, as our note about
best things, I guess.
Yeah. You know, one of the biggest things now is now the app's going to become your home base. It's going to become the place as a racer where you hang out to follow your stats and to manage your energy tiers, where you're at, where you're done, where you're complete, and where you're ongoing, so that you can, you know, come back to the places that you maybe have some spent energy and you want to, you know, complete some tiers later on the day. Maybe you're at work or something, you get a couple races done, and then you're like, okay, you know, boss distracts you, or you get a task that needs to be handled. You'll be able to just drop everything and not worry about the count and not worry about what's on your notepad, and just go do your thing. And then maybe a couple hours later, you check your app. You'll go, okay, I've got two out of 5 at standards. Okay, maybe is he still on? Oh yeah, he's still on. I'll go get those couple races done and hang out with standard for a bit. And I think it's going to be a very cool addition to the community, because you'll be able to stay connected with your viewers in a way, and you can bring them back if they haven't got their tiers done. And I think energy is going to take a very positive turn next season. I hope. But it's going to give streamers that chance to stay connected, and I think that's the biggest thing we all want, right? We all want to, you know, have the viewer go, okay, you know, like you tell that story across a larger time, and I think that's important. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things you can expect, is just that little information tidbit on the app. But you're also going to be able to customize your skin, your modifier, your pin, your card, and all the old effects, just like you were able to before. And it's going to be a lot cleaner experience. It's going to be a lot more visual. And just all around, that's like our focus for this season, is that
Yeah, I was
content.
just gonna say. I mean, the app, just push the app to everybody that you meet that doesn't have it. First of all, it gives them an account on the game, and then there's gonna be so many features in there, and yeah,
it's
especially if they're Marble pros too. They're trying to keep up with those tiers.
Yeah, just a very where a lot of people something that I noticed with the energy system too, where a lot of people were treating, it's a companion app, so a lot of people were treating it still as optional. And then all of a sudden, when it was announced that you'll be able to use your own marble and all that, all of a sudden, it didn't feel so optional anymore. It's like, if I'm gonna win stuff, I need to have the account open and all that. And I'm just trying to echo what Spooo said. Just make sure everybody that you're talking to everybody, especially, again, we have to keep in mind that in between seasons, at the end of a season and at the beginning of the season, we have a lot of new people coming in. So the two things that I always talk a lot about on stream is number one, make sure that you are extra kind. As long-term community members, we have a tendency to forget that not everybody knows how this all works. And we need to make sure that we not only welcome them in, but make sure that they understand. We need to be kind to each other. Make sure that everybody understands what is going on. And number two, yes, now it's very important to let people know about that companion app. Make sure that everybody that can have it, I understand some people can't use it still, but everybody that can use it is using it at this point, because it's going to really enrich the experience for a lot of people. And even the fact that you're going to be able to check individual tiers for the streamers that you're racing with and all that, that's really a big deal. That's really a big deal, especially for streams where the pacing is more relaxed, as I found out since I switched my format up a little bit. If the racing is more relaxed, it's a little bit trickier to remember, let me see, wait a minute, which race am I on with Spooo? Which race am I on with Standard or Pixel? And now you don't have to worry about that anymore. Now you'll be able to just pull it right up on the app. So it's gonna be very important.
Pixel, does it explain the tiers on the app? Like, is the game explained on the app at all? Do you know?
I think we have plans for tutorial. I don't know if we're gonna get around to it for the first iteration. But yeah, that's like on.
Or you have plans to put like.
Yeah, to explain the game. Explain the game on the competitive side if you're interested in collecting points, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's important to get that information there now that we're like solidifying with it, right? It's gonna be our third season with this framework, and we're really committing to it now. I'm really excited. I mean, like if you even wrap in the idea of like Tilted and how that's kind of evolved into its own little niche community.
Mm-hmm.
And how you could actually be competitive with it. Like there's people on the leaderboard that have played Tilted, like that's what they do, and I think that's awesome because it just gives you more diversity into the whole season structure that we run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And talk about content. You want to provide a unique experience with a game, and you have all these little options to switch it up.
Yeah. I'm actually excited about like the continued development of the arcade modes too. Like we started building in boost races at the end of the streams just for fun.
Right.
And like I look at, when I pulled up the screen and I saw that there were all these different all these different coming soons, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this will definitely be my jam right here. Like this is gonna be like my section. And we tried Tilted for the very first time. As many of you know, there was much death. But I tried Tilted on stream for the very first time the other night too, and it was a riot. We were dying laughing because I am not a Tilted master by any stretch of the imagination. And like I'd start with 50, 60 some marbles on the track, and I was lucky if I could finish with the 3 I needed to move on to the to the next level. But I want to make a point to that too. Like when it comes to that kind of thing, everybody, and shout out to my fellow streamers here, don't when you're a goof, all right, with any aspect, because there's all these new aspects of the game coming out, don't be afraid to interject the humor of the situation along with it. Like I felt really bad that I was killing so many people along the way with Tilted, right? Like there's like I would dump like 30 marbles just off the side of the track without even thinking about it. Don't lose sight of the fact that the community is laughing along with you. You know, just get in there and have fun with it. I avoided Tilted for so long, not because I thought it was bad, just because I didn't think it was my thing. And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier about, you know, don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment with the new modes, especially right now where the points don't matter. Get in there and try some of this stuff out if you haven't already. You know,
Boost
I know so many, yeah, boost mode is a riot. I can't wait until we've got more tracks to play with there. But boost mode is been just so much fun. Just so much fun.
Yeah, it's just freedom, right? Just like mess around, see what you could do, and just have fun with your community.
Yeah. And yeah, profanity, all of the yeeting is the great part. Like when somebody just, and some people don't care, like right at the beginning of the race, they crank out maximum boost and they just go
Yeah, I love it.
just to see how far they can make them. And sometimes you do that. Sometimes you just want to see how bad you can wreck yourself. You know, it's like how far am I going to get down the track before I hit that first pin, and how high can I get my marble to jump? You know, but that's part of it too. It's like how it's audio. You know, it's your community involvement. Like, how much can you screw around? Is part of boost mode to me, and I think that's great. You know, people can do whatever they want with that, and it's really awesome.
Going off what you said and how you thought, you know, it's hard to look at so many things in marbles and be like, and say I'm gonna love every single one of these, but sometimes you do just have to dive in. And something I was talking to Pixel about before, like a lot of people don't realize the value of marbles until they dive in a little bit. You know, they look at it and their first impression is like, man, I'm just looking at marbles roll, but there's just so much else to it. And I think it's important for people to, like, if I wasn't as patient, I might not have gotten into marbles, just because I would have seen it and been like, I'm not playing anything, the streamer's not playing anything, what's happening here, and then I'd leave. But I think it's important to understand the importance of patience and just soaking it in. So, you know, soak everything in before reacting so hard to it.
Yeah, and the environment that it's creating in your stream,
right?
Because I try to design for that. I pay attention to that a lot, of like, what is this going to do to the stream that it's being played in? And I think that thinking process is very important, that a lot of people miss right now, is like the experience it's driving on the screen.
Yeah. Right.
And not just for the streamer, because the streamer's got possibly a 42-inch monitor in front of them, right? But racers / viewers can be on mobile on a tiny screen. So how do you design for that? And that's one thing that we always think about here and I think it's important, that just a lot of people miss and don't understand the culture around Twitch, that, you know, streams have delays, and delays can range from 2 seconds all the way to 60 plus seconds. And you have to provide an experience that most people can engage with that, even if with that large of a range. And that's why I think marbles has such a strong hold on communities, is because it really truly is a welcoming experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Because there's no limitations, right? Like, if you have a group of friends and you're like, all right, let's go play Fortnite, or a game that requires you to have a computer and have high, like, decent rendering, right? Then you create limitations right there. Right there, there's limitations that people can't play.
Yeah.
And then, right? But marbles is like right in chat. So, like, that's all you need to play. And I think that's so important, and just drives that experience for everybody.
So many people to reach.
Well, and that could go back to our talk about like timer lengths and all that too. Like, you know, before we actually came on, I was talking about how switching up the format for me and everybody, I need to make sure that I always qualify this, like for, you know, what is your content and what do you want it to be? But for where like my community was at, slowing the timers back down, like just setting it to a 60-second timer, and then chatting and making sure I was caught up with chat and all that, and then starting the timer and giving people plenty of time to get into the races. And the only reason I'm thinking about that is Pixel, what you said, along the lines of, you know, how long can a lag be? How long can a delay be?
Right.
And what I'm finding is by doing it that way, and I think, you know, part of the appeal is, yes, it gives us more time to chat and more time to talk as a community, but also I found that a lot more marbles are in the races now.
Yeah.
Because of that, when I was running those strict 90-second timers, it was still good, but not as many marbles now, and not as much participation as, you know. Again, it goes back to what Spooo was talking about patience too, just allowing more people time to get in there. And there's nobody gets caught off guard. And I've been seeing that, by the way, again. It seemed like the lag on mobile was decreasing, and now we're finding that that's not the case again. I have
global networks are on massive delays, right? So
yeah, so like over a minute, like I'll ask somebody a question and I don't get an answer until 2 minutes later, just because of the delay, or I'm seeing people responding way later again, even on low latency. So yeah, there's a lot to that.
And that kind of connects with people, again, coming into a marbles stream, and if you're not patient enough and you don't have a long enough timer or whatever, you're not explaining things well enough, they're gonna say, what the hell is this, and leave, and not give it the time to soak in. And I guess that's being welcoming to your audience, is going back to new people always coming in, especially now, especially during the downtime and during the whole coronavirus stuff. It's so important to be welcoming and teach people, especially during the down season. Now's the time to start really talking to people about new season coming up, what they can do to get involved, how they can win things, how they can climb the leaderboard. You never know who's going to be like, have an ear out and be like, okay. Especially again, if you're someone who's going to be rolling marbles a lot, and let them know that. Say, hey, 5 days a week I'm going to be rolling marbles, and if you guys are interested in climbing leaderboards or whatever you want to teach them about, I'm going to be doing a lot of tilted mode, and some people are only into tilted mode. So there's just so much. There's so much with marbles. It's great.
Well, if you, like this season 15 is officially our biggest season ever for players involved. Like, we just crossed 885,000 unique players who have played marbles.
Yeah.
Like our last spike of this size was 796,000 in season 7. That was like our last biggest spike. And it's crazy. There's a lot of people getting involved. And I think the game's in just a really good state now for everybody to just enjoy marbles full time if they want to. Like I think back at season 7 was that was a longer season, and that was like one of the best seasons for effects and stuff. So effects were just starting to get bigger, and there's just a lot more customization. So with this season 16, I think it's gonna be pretty big. I just see a lot of people gathering around marbles and asking a lot of questions, and I think that's awesome for streamers. Like, you just have so much opportunity to just grab onto people and meet so many new friends and faces for your stream and your community. And just to race with. Even if you're just a racer, there's new friends to meet that you're going to be racing with next season if you're a competitive racer.
I say go ahead, Standard.
No, go ahead, Spooo.
Oh, okay. I say always take advantage. If you see, especially during the down season or anytime really, if you see a bigger streamer rolling marbles, pop in there, see what's going on, see if random questions about marbles come through the chat, because you can help so many people in these bigger streams that see a bigger streamer playing and they're like, what is this? What's going on? Oh man, blah, 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 blah. And like, there's so many opportunities to reach out and get people involved in the community. And that once they have a little piece of information, they're gonna want to follow it more. You're not gonna grab everybody, but there are people out there that are wondering what the hell is going on with this marbles game. And they're not getting enough help. So.
Right. Well, because a lot of stuff isn't explained too, right? And it just gives you the opportunity to really.
But then that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have that opportunity to reach out to people and make friends and get them involved in something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Spooo was going to be my homework.
You haven't given homework in like 2 weeks.
It's all about anytime I homework, it's like go out and teach people things. That's the homework. Whenever I don't say homework, just teach people the game, you know?
Yeah.
But that's one way to teach people. I find that extremely powerful because I see people ask questions about the game all the time in random streams, and it's like, who's gonna reach out to them if not you?
Right. Yeah, it's tough to keep up sometimes. So go ahead.
Yeah. No. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just gonna say, I don't know about the two of you. Something that I noticed about this season in particular that made me really happy and has me really excited about what's coming up for us, and that is when we did 2-month seasons in the past, it felt a little long between updates and all that.
Yeah.
And it felt like it started, especially by the end of the season, like it felt like it started to drag on and all that. And it seemed like viewership would actually dip towards the end. And it felt like it got like just a little tired by the end. This time around, we did a 2-month season and it flew by. It was very engaged. Viewership, I noticed on my end, has continued to grow. Interest has continued to be there. We still have a ton of new people coming in, and I think it just speaks to both the community and the game itself, just how far we've come. You know, that it remains exciting. Like we don't have to rely on a time schedule anymore to continue to build.
It's really starting to fall into place.
Yeah, things are starting to fall into place. And I mean, and don't get me wrong, things like mid-season updates help too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was excellent. You know, but it is. There's a different, and I don't honestly have a like a bead on what it actually is, but there's a different kind of excitement and enthusiasm in the air for everything that's going on in the community now. And it's another one of those things that's just really incredible to me. Like I always go for the feel of everything.
Right.
You know, that's something I've always really tried to get into and tried to keep an eye on. And just the feel this season was incredible. Just it's so electric.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, I want to see like, you know, you're talking about how it's been our biggest season ever. I want to see it cross over 1 million in 16.
That'd be awesome.
And I think that's gonna happen. We are poised to do that. We are poised to do that.
I also have a tough opinion on what you just said regarding the way that the season felt for you, and you felt like sometimes older seasons you felt the viewership would decline.
Yeah.
There's also a factor in there. I don't think this is 100% it, but like this builds into it. Jamie, you've come a long way as a streamer and a content creator, right? And I think before you used to lean heavily into, you know, involving the competitive racers a lot.
Yeah.
And when you go into the direction of creating content and just trying to involve everyone, you're changing the dynamic of the stream and not relying on the points structure to drive viewership. And I think that has a massive factor into people's growth and path through marbles. If you build your content around the competitive racing scene, you will see that drop at the end of the season because there is a reduction of people involved in that system by the end, right? Because people are like, oh, well, there's no way I'm going to catch up. They do the math. It's like, okay, I'm done for this season. I'll be back next season and try again, right? And so when you build that factor into your decision making, I think you can go, okay, well, if I create content on top of everything, then my stream is a lot stronger and more sticky through the hard times. And I just think that's a factor into what you said.
Yeah, no, and I would not argue with that. I mean, I'm certainly, you know, if you take, what was the last season, Pixel, that we did a 2-month season?
Okay,
I was trying to remember. Do you remember?
Well, last season was longer. Let me go. So we had December 18th until January 26th, which was last season.
Yeah.
But then before that, the last one was season 8.
A while ago. Season 8, maybe?
Season 9, I think. April 6th to June 9th.
Yeah.
I think something that helps with it not feeling so long, 2 months, and how it kind of flew by is the events and how they're spaced out, but they still flow, and it's something I think we want to do more of. We want a flowing event schedule, especially it just keeps people excited and throughout everything, and end on a routine of some sort that just keeps them going.
Yeah, just the mid-season tournament alone, like getting, it's really important for us to keep coming up with ways to bring everybody together. Like we talk about this all the time. Like we all have our own communities. Like, to go to what Mike said about like creating content and focusing on actually building a community and building content and making it your own. You have your own community as part of that, and then there is always, as we know, there's always the larger marbles community as a whole. So it's nice that everybody gets together as their communities, and that's what we all do on the daily, basically. And then getting everybody together, like you said, Spooo, on a flowing schedule where we have the mid-season, we have the end of season. It always brings a lot of perspective to see so many people in the streams, and it's and everybody gets to meet each other, everybody gets to know each other. Like, until I did, like, the very first time when Pixel invited me to do the end of season tournament at season 4, he's like, you just wait, because I hadn't really experienced that yet. So I was going to experience it for the first time and experience it as a streamer. He's like, just wait, you're going to see people that you've never met before. You're going to meet a lot of new people. It's going to be amazing. And what an eye opener it was to have that many people in my stream that I was interacting with for the very first time that I had not met yet. Because I was admittedly not the type of streamer, and Spooo, you and I have talked about this a number of times now. I was not the type of streamer that bounced from stream to stream a lot. I was so busy streaming and focusing on getting used to being, a streamer of any size at all, that I didn't get out as much. So that first tournament was something that was absolutely incredible to me, because it really did open my eyes as far as how many people were out there, and getting to know more of the names around the community. And then, of course, as you start to get out to other streams, then you start to see these people other places and interact with them other places. So you begin, like, even if they're not part of your community as a streamer or a viewer, that you see on the daily, you still realize there's a lot of great people out there from all these different communities, and then we get everybody together. So I think that's
right. And that's why it's great to have fun with people in chat too. Like, if you're out there, like, not streaming and you're just a chatter too, like, sometimes you might not see them, but you're still connecting with them within that same community. And I think that's great, just making those friendships in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's very important. It's very important. We really are a very large community, and we're very much a very active community, and we're very much a growing community. And it's really important right now that again, it's one of the reasons I keep coming back to, be kind to each other, make sure we're welcoming to everybody new that's coming in, make sure that you, as streamers, that we create environments that people love and are at least warm and friendly. You don't have to blow the doors off everybody. All right. You don't, but be warm and friendly and welcoming. And you're going to be amazed how many more new people are coming into your community right now, just because they're coming out, they're finding you. They just enjoy being there with you. They just enjoy the atmosphere. So many people that the only thing they're ever going to do is type play in your chat just because they love being there. You'll also be surprised how many people eventually come forward too. And it's like, I know I don't chat a lot in your community, but I just want to let you know that I really appreciate what you do. And eventually they'll start to warm up, and you get to have even more interaction with your community as well. And
even before that, some people won't even type play sometimes. They're just too shy to even do that, because they notice that people get called out or their name gets said or whatever, and they won't even type play for a while. So there's people out there that will sit there and just watch. And so, like, it's very strange to me still, but I do the same thing. But it's strange when I notice people are doing it to me. I don't know why. It's like I do it, so why is it strange when people do it to me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys give us a rundown of end season tournament and what to expect on Sunday.
Lots of screwing around.
Yeah, I know Gooch. Gooch is really excited. We're going to be going to the Gooch spot. He's going to be our guest. He's an awesome guy, and he's excited for it. He was worried about. He watched the mid-season. He's worried about the banter and stuff. I hope he's not here listening to me while I talk about him. But he's worried about the banter and stuff because he likes to get into the races a lot. But I'm worried about the banter too. But we just go with the flow, kind of. So I assume it's going to be a good time. His name's Paul as well. So, that's also great. We share a name, two Pauls and the bald guy.
Two Pauls and a bald.
Two Pauls and a bald. The bald and two Pauls.
The funny thing for me, I don't care. I'm gonna talk about him like he's not here anyway. But the funny thing for me with Gooch is, Gooch said that to you, Spooo.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, if you go watch his streams, he banners a lot. He's actually very entertaining. So
yeah.
The fact that he's worried about like the banter side of it is really funny to me. And everybody.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Spooo. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say maybe he's just not used to like bantering with other people. He just kind of does it by himself, and he's just nervous about the interaction between us, and maybe drawing blanks or something. I don't know.
I just hope we don't throw him.
He's here.
He's here, guys.
Is he here?
He's gonna do great, man. He's gonna do great. Everybody, click his name and get ready for Sunday. I was gonna make that homework too. Go. I want you to tell two people that you think might not know about the end of season tournament and how to get involved. Tell them about making an account. Two people. Everybody, find two people. Specifically, say, hey, I see you rolling marbles. You want to learn about something, or you can win stuff.
I always
maybe not that aggressive.
With the end of season, with any of the tournaments that we do, Spooo, I always feel like we have a very short break-in period at the beginning of the tournament where the our special guest always has to get used to exactly what's about to happen. We do. I think it's great that we really started building in like all of the screwing around we do during the tournament. And I realized that one tournament we did take it a little too far and we started running the races long. Like I suddenly realized we had 3 hours and we still weren't going to get just 20 races in.
Right. And then the next one we ended 20 minutes early because we were worried about it and we cranked as hard as we rushed it.
It's hard to say because we use community maps too. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. There's not an average length.
Yeah.
It could be 1.5 minutes or 1 minute. It could be 5 minutes.
Well, you think the first time I ran it was good? I was out of control. I didn't even know what the heck was going on.
Oh, it was perfect. Oh yeah.
You guys gotta get into your groove. It just takes time.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and now we just I think that it really it really for me, like when we did that first evening mid-season and it was just we had so much fun and we did so much goofing around, and I began to realize how much I would look forward to that if we did that more, and how much more community engagement we had. Like it's never been about just a bunch of people getting together and typing play in a chat. It's always been about community. So the fact that we have so many different ways now to build community in, whether we're running community maps, always having a special guest with us, the extra banter between all three of the streamers, and the goofing around and the laughing and the voices and all that crazy stuff that we do, it's really turned it into, I think the word I'm grasping for here is celebration. It's like every time we do these tournaments now, it's a celebration of the community that's here with us.
Absolutely.
And I think that is the most beautiful part of these now. And like the prizes and everything else that comes along with that is just the amazing icing on the cake. But like the fact that we get together and we get to celebrate us.
Yeah, celebrate the people who like top the leaderboards, and it's just a conversation about the whole event.
Everybody gets their due. Everybody's included in this, and I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about this entire thing.
Agreed.
It's wild.
But yeah, I mean, as for how it's gonna go? Oh, it's gonna be, we're gonna do the same 20 races, right? Like we're gonna do 20 community races within 4 hours, and the same prizes, which is the 300 coins, 200 coins, 100 coins for first, second, third, or for first, second, third. Wait, I forget how it is. First, second, third get the same amount of coins and option of prize, I think.
I'd have to look up the graphic. Yes.
Right.
I have, with the different tournaments, I lose track of who gets what anymore.
They're all slightly different. They're all slightly different.
I can't even remember what 3 modifiers are up for grabs. I know 5 stripe is up for grabs. For end of season, it's 5 stripe.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking mid season. End of season is like a lot more coins for first, second, and third.
5,000 coin pool altogether. I know that. Yeah. And it's and as far as modifiers go, 5 stripe is up. Let's see, cupcake, whip whap, and 4 stripe are mid season. So it's 5 stripe. What are the names of the other 2? I'm forgetting now.
I can't check Discord. You
Triangle,
guys are
the pyramid.
You guys are my Discord.
I'm sorry. Are we in your way?
But guys, the end of season tournament is from 1 to 4 this Sunday. 2 days. 2 days after today, tomorrow. Boom, Sunday, 1 to 4 Eastern. Then we'll have definitive prizes.
Yeah,
you won't be wishy-washy.
Why don't you go over how the the points and stuff works? Because somebody already asked. Like how the tournament works in general.
Oh, okay, yeah. So top 10 are gonna grab points for each race, and it's being played in 3 separate spots. So my channel, Standard Damage's channel, and the Gooch Spots channel. So the best way to get first place is to be rolling in each one. We're gonna do the same race on each stream, same timer. So once you enter one, you go and drop in the other 2, and you should be good. Top 10 get points, and then top 20 get the prizes at the end.
Exactly.
Of the whole thing.
Technical side note to what Spooo just said, everybody. I've had a number of people, and I'll say it now because so much of the community is here. I've had a number of people reach out to me because of they want their viewership to count for the different streamers and how to handle the multiple tabs. And what I reached out to some of my community, and what they've been telling me that they'll do is, as opposed to using like multi-Twitch or something like that where the views don't count, if possible, they keep 3 tabs open and they will focus on one of the streamers at a time and hang with them. What some of the community has been doing, which I think is really cool, is because the tournament itself runs 3 hours, they'll focus on they'll keep 3 tabs open, but they'll focus on one streamer for 1 hour, hang with them for a while, chat with their community and all that, and drop marbles in the other 2, and then they'll switch for the 2nd hour and do the same, and then do the 3rd, hang with the other streamer for the 3rd hour, which I thought was a really neat way to just kind of
That's awesome.
Spread the love around a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
But again, everybody understand that when I make those call outs, I understand that from a technical perspective that there are a number of you that need to be able to participate in all 3 races that can't do that. Some people's computers even can't handle that load.
Right.
Keeping 3 tabs open. You have to watch through a multi-Twitch, or you have to watch through CADGAR or something like that. And no, we understand that. We only have made call outs for that or asked for that because of the way Twitch handles their viewership now. So don't worry about it either way. The bottom line is we just want you there with us. We want you to be there as part of the community with us, and we want you having a good time.
Hopefully one day the squad streaming can be for everyone, and
yeah,
because that would make it, because that just opens 1 tab, right? And then you have all the chats.
Yep.
So like it would be beautiful.
I believe so, yeah.
that's what we did for the Tilted tournament.
Integrated for mobile as well would be, because I guess on mobile you have to open up one stream and then drop a ball, close it, and open the other one. And you can do it. It's possible to do it. It's just kind of tedious.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not watching much because you're busy dropping a ball, and then you get a minute or 2 to watch the race, then you got to get ready to do it again. And so it's doable, but I can see where it's kind of like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's different ways to handle it. And something that we keep coming around to again is just, we want you to enjoy the experience. Again, it's all about community and the celebration. So, however you choose to do so, please do so. It's a lot of it is it's boils down to, we just want you there with us.
Yeah,
We
even
want
if
you
you're
there
in
hanging
one
out with us,
stream,
having a
you're
good
still
time.
participating and having a good time.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. We're still happy
Don't
to see
feel
your
like you
name there
need to be in all three.
conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you could still do well just playing in one. Just gotta get lucky.
Yeah.
We do.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we do hear that a lot. Oh man, I'm having a crappy day in your stream, but over in Pixel stream, I'm doing like this.
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. There's always, like, it seems like for the people that do well, there's always that lucky stream,
Right,
for them, where they're getting like more top 10s than in the others. It just kind of
yeah, it's
falls
like,
that
holy
way
crap,
that
I'm
day.
doing so good over here right now.
I'm doing, yeah. So I'm sorry, Pixel, what were you gonna?
No, I was just gonna taper off a little bit. We're coming to the end. I know we talked a lot about marbles this podcast, as we're coming up to season 16, so it's a little bit more promotional and talk about that stuff. But if you guys have any last minute questions, we can address them, and then we gotta get ready for Community Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been wild.
Any last minute thoughts or questions or anything? Oh, another piece of homework, guys. If you haven't yet, say happy birthday to Deacon. I saw that in chat. I didn't know, but happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Deacon.
birthday.
Happy birthday. We'll have to sing to him in stream today.
Yeah. Yeah, tournament kits are out for next season. They've been out for a couple days. So if you're interested in book one, there's still a bunch of slots, but there's been a lot taken. Next season's gonna be crazy for tournaments, it seems. We got another DMP 3-1 going on. Big tournament.
Yeah, I snuck a peek at the calendar and I was like, holy cow, lots of tournaments going on.
Yeah, I would love to do like a couple tilted tournaments as well. I thought that was a lot of fun the last time we did it. So
yeah, we could do one like every other week or something for the community and see how it plays out. I wanted to design a new point structure for that, so we can do a little bit more than just rush. We could do a little more tactical tournament where you got to like get a certain amount of marble, like make sure you get enough marbles done and whatever. But yeah, I mean, just
like
more
different
variation
setups for it.
Yeah. We'll just continue building on it, guys. D&D tournament? What?
D&D.
We're doing Dungeons and Dragons
button
now.
to join races in next season. I guess like on the app or something, or like the extension.
Oh, like an extension? Yeah, the extension's not in development anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe one day it'll come back. You never know.
Yeah. As of right now, just the plays.
That's your plays. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming out. We'll see you guys next week. And there's so much. Sunday.
Community Day in an hour.
And Community Day in an hour.
Sunday, end of season at 1 p.m. Eastern.
And then Wednesday next week for launch of season 16.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out. A short and fast podcast, and we'll see you guys in about an hour.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.